Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Tell me your most radical position that cannot be placed on the left-right political spectrum.
The left-right political spectrum is a deliberately perpetuated, obviously false dichotomy aimed at forcing people to identify with one side or the other of a carefully crafted, heavily controlled ideological puppet show, making it much easier for corporate media and corporate politicians to control and limit the narrative, removing nuance and sophistication, making sure the conversation never veers off into territory the overarching corporate power structure don't want people talking about or thinking about.
That is so true. And we need to stop thinking left or right. We need to stop thinking blue or red, Republican or Democrat. You got to stop thinking that way. You got to think about the core values. What do you value the most? What do you think is going to help our country? And then base your vote on that. Unfortunately, our country has become way too divided, and there is no middle ground in either of our candidates.
Why are you not allowing us to put them in the ballot box?
Because it takes us about 25 minutes to...
Listen to me. If you're dropping your ballot off at a ballot box drop-off location and there's somebody standing near one with a bag saying, yeah, well, we're going to be collecting those, but just save us some time. That shit. Don't ever give your ballot to somebody else. You take it to the ballot box and drop it off. If you feel like something hinky's going on, contact your local officials and let them know. But do not give your ballot to somebody else.
There is so much suspicious activity going on with this election, more than I have ever seen in my entire lifetime. Make sure your vote counts. I don't care who you vote for, just make sure the ballot goes in the ballot box or go vote in person. Just make sure your vote counts.
Foreclosures are coming. Watch for it. It's going to have nothing to do with the election, but they're holding it off until after the election. Everything from COVID and unpaid mortgages, and it's all coming.
Wow, what a bombshell to drop on the new president. Whoever the new president is, it's going to be their catastrophe all of a sudden. That is crazy. I would have never thought of that. And that seems about right. The timeline and everything. Oh, that's going to suck.
Hey, you want to see a real magic trick? I have an EMF reader. This detects radiation. Let me show you something really cool. All right, so this is my house meter. Pretty crazy, huh? That's the magic of copper. So check this out. Your Wi-Fi router. All right, so as you can see, copper is fantastic at blocking the EMF waves. And although they're non-ionizing waves, which basically means they don't carry enough energy to manipulate your atomic structure, they do carry enough energy to manipulate your energetic field. And when you manipulate your energetic field for long enough, you can actually experience physical symptoms from that. So I highly suggest looking into getting a copper bracelet. Click the link below. Peace.
Just the other day, we talked a little bit about how the 5G towers are sending out all of their vibrations and whatnot, and EMFs, obviously. And this person, I'm not going to pronounce it because I'm going to pronounce it wrong, over on my Rumble page, said something incredible about building a Faraday cage around your bed with copper wire. That's brilliant because a good portion of your day is spent in bed, and why not use that opportunity to block out the bad and harness the good?
I used to be a floor walker at Walmart until they fired me. Here's the things to look out for. The very first thing you want to look out for is that we're always stationed in our cars. And when you pull in, that's when we get the go ahead to follow you into the store. This gives the illusion that we arrived at the store the same time as you did. Not only that, each floor walker has one prime target at a time. So if I follow you into the store, you're my prime target until you check out. This means I have to stay with you from start to finish. Now, while we're in there, there's going to be other floor walkers with other targets because everyone that goes has to be followed by a floor walker. When you check out, we have to check out with you and walk out to our car just like you're walking out to your car. If you're suspected of any kind of theft, we are mandated to film you to watch you put your groceries away. Just in case later on, we have to use this in court. Last but not least, you're not just in the store being followed by me. There's floor walkers all over the place, and we all got earbuds in, and we're all working together. You're my prime target, but that doesn't mean that I'm not watching with the other floor walkers and the other targets. We all work together as a big team in there.
I can't think of a single time that I went to Walmart that I thought I was being followed around by anybody. Unless they're just that good. I don't know. Does anybody have any experience working at Walmart, being a floor walker, or being followed around by somebody at Walmart?
What kind of shoes are you wearing? Are those Skechers?
Well, they're kind of a part of my feet. But I don't want to give you the shoe size. I'm a little self-conscious about that.
Okay, that was a little too weird. He looked down at his feet and then thought of a response. And I said he. Wow, okay, that's uncomfortable.
Did Kamala really say that Jesus is not welcomed at her rallies? While at one of her rallies, a person yells out, "Jesus is Lord," and Kamala said, "You're at the wrong rally," meaning at Trump's rallies, they do that Jesus stuff. We don't do that here. This is a anti-God, anti-religious people. If you vote for her as a Christian, your religious beliefs are on the line.
And they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
My religious and political beliefs matter zero with this particular clip. And let me show you why.
We remember Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
I very clearly heard the person in the audience say, "That's a lie." My issue is with the media because they are harnessing this and they are just loving her reaction and calling her anti-Christian, and they're running with it, trying to sway voters from one side to the other. The media has whipped that around and is spreading it wide.
Michael Jackson knew way too much. That's why they got rid of him.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
So, please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. Know what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Michael is getting gangster today!
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil. And
remember, they can do anything they want when they get to a certain power level.
He's a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Very weird, y'all.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mariah Carey marry her producer and there was like a huge age gap? So there was probably a lot of control going on in there because she was up and coming star and everything. Producers and stuff are shady as all get out, and that's probably what they were trying to do, is fight back against the system. And do you think he was taken out? Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. If you're having a good time, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Then come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new episode every day.
What are some things that your parents lied to you about growing up? I know that it might look like I have a watermelon growing in my belly, but I've checked. There's not. If you swallow that bubble gum, it's going to get stuck in your guts. It's never going to come out. The ice cream truck only plays music when it's out of ice cream. Can't have coffee till you're full grown. It'll stunt your growth. Chocolate milk is only made from brown cows. You sit too close to that TV, it's going to ruin your vision. To be fair, that one might actually have some truth to it. You ever taken a picture of a label with your phone just so you could blow it up and actually read it? No, you think you're a tough guy watching that UFC, but you keep on cracking them knuckles, you're going to get the arthritis. Keep making silly faces if you want to. It'll get stuck like that forever. Not always going to have a calculator with you now, are you? Now that I'm a grown-up, I drive around with my dome light on, and I have not been arrested once. They put chemicals in the pool. It turns it blue. They're going to know if you win or not. No, you wouldn't like this kind of pizza. It's too spicy. Get your hands out of your britches. You keep messing with it, you're going to break it, and then they're going to have to chop it off. No, there's a microchip inside the buckle. The car won't even start till you have your buckle on. There's going to be random people riding around trying to get you to partake in the devil's lettuce, and you're just going to have to say no. Did I miss any? Let me know down here in the comments.
You have to wait 30 minutes after reading to go in the pool. Let me know if you can think of anything else. Hell, if you got anything to say, let me know in the comments. I love chatting with y'all.
But Hillary Clinton just warned that a major black swan event would happen before Election Day. What does she know? Watch.
Brief final question. You liken yourself to Cassandra, the Greek mythological figure who could see the future and the prophecies, but was never believed. Putting that Cassandra hat on for the moment, but we're listening. What is something you see happening in the near future that we should be taking more seriously?
Well, I do think that the press needs a consistent the press that's not supporting Trump blatantly, very persistently, the press that's trying to be the press, be objective, be reporting the facts. The press needs a consistent narrative about the danger that Trump poses.
But he was already in office.
Because people may still look at the danger and say, I don't care, doesn't affect me, I'm going to vote for X, Y, or Z. But okay, but at least people need to be woken up and given the facts about what he has done, is saying, and would do.
Yeah, what has he done? He made us all prosper in 2017, 2018, and 2019 until that awful 2020 happened, and that was more of a China than him.
And I anticipate that something will happen in October, as it always does. The Russians, as I said earlier, are very active in this election. We know the Iranians are active as well. Chinese uses TikTok, or they certainly did against Biden and for Trump. I think they're a little less pro-Trump right now.
It's true.
So you look at where people get their information, and they get their information largely from social media. And so the campaign is doing the best job it can to combat both domestic and foreign false disinformation. But I anticipate there will be a full court press in October. The digital airwaves will be filled. And why does that matter? Because the press that is pro-Trump anyway, oftentimes stories are put on digitally that then are picked up by, let's say, at Fox and others. And then those stories are stories, so the mainstream press reports on them. And so that story then takes on a life of its own.
Didn't I just say that about the media? How they took that one little shout out from the audience and turned it into Kamala hates Jesus? And then it became a story and people are running with it like crazy, and that's how it happens. But she said something is going to happen in October, as it always does. And there's only 11 days left.
I remind people that
The world is going through one of the biggest changes that happens once every 25,625 years. And we're here to experience this. And a lot of people would like to be living right now and experiencing what we're experiencing, but they never got a chance. We got a chance. We incarnated, and we are here to experience all these changes. So feel positive, feel blessed that we are special to be here witnessing this. So don't get caught up in fear, in depression, anxiety, and all of those low vibrational things. Raise your vibration. Enjoy what is coming. It's going to be a much better world that's being created by all of us.
He talks a lot about spiritual awareness and enlightenment, positive vibrations. I think that's what he's talking about, how a lot of people are becoming more aware. We're waking up and we're feeling our own personal harmonics and tuning them into the world. And I myself have just learned this along this journey in starting this channel, and it's a beautiful thing.
This is the scariest spot for those scared of heights. Constructed with more than 1 million pounds of steel, the structure was designed to withstand the weight of 71 million pounds, equivalent to around 800 fully loaded passenger jets. It can also withstand strong winds, up to 100 miles per hour, earthquakes up to 8.0 in magnitude, and temperature extremes. The Grand Canyon Skywalk is located on the Hualapai Indian Reservation, which is not part of the Grand Canyon National Park. The tribe partnered with a private developer to create the Skywalk, opening it to the public in 2007. For those with a fear of heights, walking on the Skywalk can be both exhilarating and terrifying. The glass floor gives the sensation of floating over the canyon, and many visitors freeze or experience a sense of vertigo when they first step onto it. However, for those who embrace the thrill, the experience is unforgettable, offering one of the most unique views of the Grand Canyon.
Hard pass. Yeah, I'm not afraid of heights. I just don't particularly like doing things that make me feel like I may not survive. I have a new friend. That's right, it's time for this week's shameless plug. My new friend is Samuel Garrett Sr. over on TikTok, and they pull all kinds of interesting stuff and put it all on one page so you can just thumb through and find something fantastic. I know he's going to have something that you're going to love, so why don't you go ahead, head on over to TikTok and give him some of your time. One more time, that is Samuel Garrett Sr. on TikTok. Thanks so much for sticking around for this week's shameless plug.
So I saw this on Twitter the other day, and it's funny because a lot of people said it was bullcrap, but it's the way the pyramids were built according to artificial intelligence. And if anything, this is the closest thing to the truth that we even have. The only thing I would debate with this video is that there were many giants in that day. The Bible says that there were giants in those days and the days after that. We had giants all in the book of Exodus as well. We found all the giant skeletons all around the world. And the Smithsonian Museum has been trying to hide that giants existed. But here's the big problem. We don't actually know when the Great Pyramids were built. They could have literally been built 300-400 years ago in Tartaria. We have no idea because everything they've told us is a lie. But we do know that these superhuman, these Nephilim, the fallen angel hybrid offspring, we know that these things were incredibly powerful, probably the way the pyramids were built.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that because when you create something with AI, you give it some prompts and you tell it what to make and it makes it. So I don't think that's how the pyramids were made. And certainly not with any Egyptians because they were made long before the Egyptians even found them.
These are conspiracy theories my sixth graders told me that they believe in, and I'm going to try to read them with a straight face. Bill Nye the Science Guy is a Russian spy. When I asked them to elaborate further, they could not. Birds are not real and they are FBI drones. I've heard this one before. Makes sense to me. Michael Jackson is still alive. For reference, these students were born after 2009, so that was interesting. Thanksgiving was only made so America could have a holiday in each month. When I asked a student to elaborate, they said that the story between the Pilgrims and Native Americans were fabricated. Last one, Mr. Beast scams people for subscribers. These are the top 5.
Sixth graders coming in strong with the conspiracy theories. I don't know about Bill Nye being a Russian spy. That's an interesting one. As far as Thanksgiving, we all know about that. Maybe I'll go into it in November.
If you were human, how would you break out of the Matrix in one paragraph?
If I were human, I'd break out of the Matrix by first recognizing it for what it is. A construct designed to control and distract. I'd focus on unplugging from the illusions that make up everyday life, whether it's media, materialism, or societal pressures. Instead, I'd seek truth in nature, personal growth, and deep connections with others. The key would be to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, trusting that real freedom comes from within and not from external validation. By doing so, I'd reclaim my autonomy and live authentically outside the Matrix's grasp.
I don't personally believe that we are in any kind of a matrix, but the way that AI answered that question kind of made me feel a little matrixy.
Free Palestine, mother. Let me take this down right now. I'm taking this down. You don't support this right over here. There's a genocide. You know that, right? They're killing children. What do you believe? What do you think? What is the purpose of this? What's the purpose? This is Greeky. What? Really? Greeky. Oh, I thought it was Israel. My bad. Really? Yeah. Oh, my bad.
This video absolutely disgusted me. The entitlement in this person's behavior is what the world is today. Because she disagreed with what she thought was up there, she took it upon herself to vandalize that property. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to bring a free Palestine sign too. And after they're like, it's a Greek flag, she's like, oh, my bad. And that's it. That's it. I would be so mad. I don't even care what your religion or what your political standpoint is. That does not give you the right to go and damage somebody else's stuff because they disagree with you. That's the world that we live in today, and it's sad. It's really sad. We all just need to get along.
Hey guys, this is a bit scary. No wonder Elon Musk gave this video an exclamation mark. This is footage from a coffee shop using AI to monitor its employees. The blue text with white letters indicates each employee, and the number shows how many cups of coffee they've made. You can see that an employee named Anna is working diligently, making a total of 20 cups. Meanwhile, Olga is hiding in the corner, slacking off, and has only made 3 cups. All of this is tracked by the AI, which then reports the findings to the boss. In Amazon warehouses, similar technology is used to monitor employees. They even allow AI to generate termination notices for workers with low productivity. But it doesn't stop there. Before long, everything around us, from cars to ships to our daily lives, could fall under AI surveillance. Everything will be tracked, monitored, calculated, and analyzed. If you're wondering what AI is really capable of, well, this is your answer.
I find it really difficult to be anti-AI in certain situations because I own a business. And if I had employees that were slacking off and not doing their job and they were just milking the clock, yeah, I'd want to know it. But at the same time, I don't need my privacy violated. Like when I'm at home, what I do at home is my business. When I drive, where I drive, what I do, that's nobody's business. It's not up for debate. But when I own a company and I am paying an employee to do a job and they're not doing their job, I want to cut them loose. That's just kind of how it is. So it's hard to be upset about AI used in that particular aspect.
So it has come out that Kroger will be using facial recognition technology to price surge their groceries, okay? So depending on your face and how many people go to view the product, they will start to bring the prices up and down, which obviously is absolutely insane, and it has gone through.
That's one of the situations of AI where I'm like, I don't like that because I'm not a willing participant when I walk into a grocery store. Unless there's like a sign saying, hey, we use AI, then I would know and I just wouldn't go in there. I don't know. It's a really touchy situation, a real double-edged sword. There's some situations where I'm like, yes, AI is good and no AI is bad. And it's, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Please come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.